today I'm going to platinum High on Life, and I'm not going to lie, it made me do some crazy things. The game begins as a Doom clone, and wait a minute, where's the funny Morty talking gun? And yeah, this whole beginning section is just here to teach you how to walk and shoot. One part here that actually made me freaking lol was when the guy who sounds absolutely nothing like Rick from Rick and Morty told me to double jump, but there isn't one, so I just fell. Okay, I know that wasn't that funny, but in the moment it was, okay?
Rick and Morty. Alive.
After I defeated loads of enemies, the camera started zooming out and wow, the real world. We're then greeted by the main character's sister Lizzie, and then like 10 seconds later, aliens start invading. This one guy decided to fight back, like he got all up in his face and everything, but yeah, he gets... Yeah, don't worry about what happened to him. I ended up picking up this gun off of this dead alien, and after he spat like a Grimbly glob all over the screen...
Oh my gosh.
Don't look at that.
I could understand what he was rambling on about. This guy's name is Kenny, and he lets us know that the G3 is invading Earth to turn human beings into drugs. And yeah, that's why it's called High on Life. It took me way too long to realise that. We end up escaping Earth with the whole house being teleported to an alien planet. This place is called Blim City, and our first main objective here is to find a guy called Gene to help us take down the G3. After asking around for a bit, I found him on a bench, and he gives us a bounty hunting suit in exchange for him living in our house. The suit had a bunch of pop-up ads though, so I had to go activate it. After I got that done, I got started with my first bounty, which was to defeat Ninetorg. I had to go to the slums to find her, but the entrance was blocked by these two little alien critters. To get through, I had to answer which one I would ask out, and I went for the red one since he's voiced by, you know, Smiling Friends Charlie. Anyway, the red guy let me use his door, and as I was making my way through this tunnel, this kid called Slumsley started pushing me around, like, bro really thinks he's Mido from Ocarina of Time. I got a trophy here for, well, don't worry about it. He was actually 30 years old. You know what, maybe he was a Kokiri? This was the first of a few missable trophies in the game that I was making sure not to miss. There were loads of these ant guys around, and after using Kenny's iconic glob shot and juggling an enemy in the air with 5 hits, I got another trophy. One big reason Jean wanted Ninetorg dead was because she had his knife. After I went through this laundrette, I found it, and acted like I was the buyer who they were selling it to. Another trophy popped here for picking up Knifey, who is just completely insane, and he actually has his own story DLC, which is pretty cool. His voice sounded really familiar, and I looked it up and he's voiced by Michael Cusack. What the hell? You know what, it all makes sense now.
We're gonna die today! We're actually gonna die! Wait one sec, we're gonna go get some petrol first.
Knifey is amazing. He can stab and kill, and he's also a grappling hook for some reason. Using Knifey, I made my way to where Ninetorg was, and after a simple boss battle, I defeated her and got a trophy. From there, I headed back to the house to check in on Jean, and Knifey really wanted to stab him, which felt pretty mean, but I had to do it to get another missable trophy. He seemed completely fine with it, so, I mean, from just looking at him, he's definitely gone through worse. My next bounty target was Douglas, the G3's chief of training and torture. So I mean, he sounds like a pleasant guy. But before I did that, I completed the first step of getting a missable trophy called A Starfish is Born. I had to buy a drum set and give it to this kid who is apparently a bit of a musical prodigy, but I guess we'll see. Also, I'm pretty sure he farts out of his face. I mean, that's not important, but I just thought I'd point it out, you know. On my way to Dreg City, which is where Douglas was, I met the funniest guys in the whole game, the Mac and Cheese brothers. These guys are great. They even made fun of me for platforming.
Platforming all over the place like some tough guy.
Once I actually made it to Dreg City, I had to get into the G3 recruitment centre to find Douglas. The only thing is, I didn't exactly look like a G3 recruit, so I had to get gooped on. There's a guy called Stan nearby, and he let me get gooped on for free. Well, I'm telling you right now, this guy is a freak. You'll see why later. But now I was yellow, I could finally enter G3 orientation. I had to do a bit of platforming, a bit of murdering. I may have killed the other recruits, but we don't need to talk about that. And also in this place, I met Dr. Jupy. I had no idea at first, but this little character is actually voiced by Tom Kenny, which is kinda crazy. I helped him out by solving his pipe puzzles, and I had to do them a couple of times. He told me about how Douglas kidnapped his family, and I genuinely believed him. But believe it or not, Dr. Jupy is not who he says he is. He was actually Douglas the whole time, just when you think you know someone. Then after that, his boss battle began. His boss battle arena had all of these electric floors for me to look out for, and he also kept teleporting around everywhere. I ended up dying, which was kind of annoying, but on my next try, I defeated him and got a trophy. The gun he was using during that fight was a Gatlian, just like Kenny, and I got a trophy for getting her. This Gatlian's name is Sweezy, and she has the ability to shoot these crystals at enemies that explode when you melee them. Her main ability though is to create a time bubble. eyeball, which you can use to slow down enemies, and these fan blade things. Before I started the next bounty, I went to go check up on Globo, the kid I gave the drum set to earlier, and he now had a whole crowd listening to him. I had to talk to his dad for a bit, and then headed towards my next bounty. Our next bounty target, Krubis, takes us to Zephyr, which is probably my favourite location in the whole game. It feels really alien, and the music is also really good. I had to free this village of moplets, which are these little bear creatures, and while I was doing it, I got a trophy for popping 20 Grunt's eyeballs. I actually had the choice of whether I wanted to take out Douglas or Krubis first, and there's a reason why I went for Douglas first. There's a missable trophy here in Zephyr that you need to have Sweezy to get. Basically, as I was exploring looking for Krubis's coordinates, I found this office full of moplets, and I had to use Sweezy to boss them around, and for doing that, I got a trophy. The moplets are just abused throughout this whole game. There's one that was just like cut in half and still alive somehow. Anyway, I eventually found Krubis' coordinates and used a warp disc to spawn him in. There's another trophy involving warp discs which I'll get a bit later, and it involves
By the way, Sonic, can I have some of your shit, mate?
the boss fight with Krubis has him going underground all the time. Hitting him with a glob shot and then using a knife he was pretty useful during this fight. After defeating him, I got another trophy. And I also got the Gatlian he was using called Gus. A trophy pop for getting Gus, and he's basically a shotgun. He can also shoot out these red platform discs that can stick to red parts of the wall as well. I think the movement and platforming in this game is actually quite fun, and it got even better once I got the jetpack. Once I bought it from the shop and took it for a bit of a test run, I got a trophy. It was time now to check in on Globo again, and when I went to find him, he was gone, and after talking to his dad I found out that he'd apparently been signed to a record. So you know what? Good for him. Another missable trophy I could start now involves Stan. The guy gave me a free gooping earlier. I had to get some of his product and take it with me to the end of the game. Now, this guy was way too excited to sell me this. During my next bounty, I got a pair of mag boots off of this dead guy. They let me walk on magnetic walls, and of course, I got another trophy for getting them. I found another Gatlian called Les Stewart as I was exploring, and he was really messed up, so we gave him to Gene to fix him up. The fight with the bounty Dr. Giblets is the hardest battle in the game. He trips and falls off his chair and that's it. How was that a gold trophy? The next Gatlian I got was Creature, during the Skrendel brothers bounty. He uses his babies to attack, and you can also use them to destroy these electric generator things. I still mainly use Kenny throughout my main playthrough though. I guess the glob shot is just too good. The Skrendel brothers were just annoying. You defeat one and then he'd just leave. I had to fight all three of them at once to fully beat them. I don't know how the hell I didn't die during my attempt at this boss fight considering there were three of them attacking me here. The dash and the jetpack here were just a lifesaver. Once I finally defeated them, a trophy popped. After that bounty I found Globo on the TV playing his drums, and for witnessing it, I finally got the A Starfish is Born trophy. Dude, Globo is awesome. During the story I headed to Space Applebee's to find the protagonist's sister Lizzie, and while we were there, Kenny opens up a bit and tells us how he is basically responsible for the destruction of his home planet Gatlus. While he did that, I ordered some food, which I didn't even get to eat by the way, what the hell? All I had to do to get a trophy here was to pay the bill. After that, Blim City gets invaded, and I had to make my way back to the house to escape. And we ended up teleporting to Gatlus, or well, what's left of it at least. After convincing Lizzie to leave her alien boyfriend Tweeg, I started the Nipulon bounty. He has probably the realest hardest boss fight in the whole game, not like that other one from earlier. There's a part where you're just floating through the Sparks Nightmare looking area, and you have to quickly shoot the real Nipulon. It's easy to spot him, but with all of the other fake guys around shooting me, I reached 2 HP and somehow didn't die. He does do an epic troll during this fight though, giving you a trophy for spending 15 hours at an alien strip club. GTA 6 needs to do something like this. You may or may not be wondering why this dude is called Nipulon, and I had the exact same thought in my mind. And once I defeated him, I found out why. Yeah, knife you cut off one of Nipulon's Nipulons. After witnessing that, I got a trophy. All that was left to do now was to defeat Garmantuous, the leader of the G3. Gene managed to fix Let's Do It, the Gatlian I picked up earlier, and a trophy popped once I obtained him. Let's Do It is the best gun, and he also looks like a Plants vs Zombies zombie. He may not look it, but he is crazy powerful. The final few battles take place on Earth, and Let's Do It can just vaporize enemies. A story trophy popped while I was just destroying loads of the enemies, and it was basically just a bounty suit AI saying goodbye. I don't think he was useful a single time in the game, apart from a weird detective mode and telling me there were loads of ads on the screen. Let's Do It was way too OP during this final battle. Garmantuous was flying around on his little pod, and Let's Do It just destroyed his HP. I shoved a bomb inside him, and what happened next was genuinely crazy. He gets up and spawns in Jack Black, what the hell?
Hey, it's me, Jack Black.
But Nights at Freddy.
There used to be 3 animatronics there, now there's only 2.
There's a lot of weird and strange things in this game, but this is the thing that shocked me the most for some reason. They got Steve in this. He does just get obliterated though, which is kind of freaking messed up. Why would they do that to him? The final phase of the fight wasn't too hard either. I just used Let's Do It as often as I could, and once I defeated him, I got a trophy. There's a missable trophy here for using any other Gatlian than Kenny to activate the bomb inside of Garmantuous, and I decided to use Let's Do It, since he seemed up to it. After Garmantuous blew up, Let's Do It thankfully survived, and I'd completed the main story.
That's all, fuck.
A trophy also popped here for carrying Stan's product to the end of the game. Now, this guy's messed up. Most of the trophies I'd left to get now just involved pretty basic cleanup stuff. The first one I went for was the Mods Please Ban trophy, for completing the Bounty Hunter forums. These Reddit posts basically have you completing simple tasks, like defeating a certain number of enemies, or finding all of the locations in an area. Apparently they updated the game to increase the number of certain enemies you have to kill, which, like, why?
But why? Why would you do that?
Thankfully though, there's a few decent farming spots to get these forums done pretty easily. What's kinda mean though is that you can't use Let's Do It in the post game. I guess he was just too strong. The Greebles I had to take out was such a pain. I thought I was done after defeating 60 of them, but then it went to 90, and then to 120 altogether. After I bought all of the items in an area, I got my final forum done, and got the trophy. Next, I searched for Dr. Gurgula's hideout. It's in the human haven, where we've been rescuing different humans across the world. And at the very top of it is his lab. He's up to no good experimenting on humans, that kind of thing. A trophy popped once I got there. The next 2 trophies I would get for using warp discs, which you can buy from the food shop of all places. These are pretty fun little areas. In one, you just destroy a whole civilization, which was kind of messed up. I mean, I didn't mean to do it, I was just walking around.
It ain't my fault he ran right in front of my truck.
One of them is a cinema, and a trophy popped once it spawned in. Inside you can watch a real film, which is kinda crazy, but there are some guys talking over it the whole time. So you know what, just like real cinemas I guess. I had to explore every one of these warp bases to get a trophy. The Charlie Situation one was pretty good, and it's just straight up just the real thing. No crazy twist or anything. You have to make the decision. Another one has one guy in a toilet connected to some pipes, with his friend waiting at the other end for him to, yeah. I had to solve the pipe puzzle to get the trophy though. I can't believe I had to do that. And the next one wasn't even much better. It spawns a nice little house with a family of Lugloxes in, which are basically treasure chests in this game, and I had to do it.
I killed them. And not just the men, but the women. And the children too.
The skate park one was the last warp disc I did, and I had to get a score higher than 42,069 points in this little skating minigame. Oh wait, I get it, the funny Reddit number. At first I was really struggling to get a high score. I was trying to do all the tricks and kept jumping and spinning around, but then I found one strategy that worked. I just stood in one place and kept jumping. I don't know how this worked, but the trophy popped for exploring every warp disc after I got a high score. On the TV, there's a chance of this show being on where this robot does a countdown that lasts for like 8 minutes. I had to keep resetting to get it to appear. Then after that, I had to watch this robot countdown from 80 to 0. This guy was trolling at some points though. He would just start counting up sometimes.
62, did I repeat that number? 62, 62, 62. 61, 62, going up now, 63.
Like, what are you doing? After what felt like ages, I got a trophy for watching it. Well, it should have been a bloody gold one for putting me through that. Next, I did the final part of the cleanup where I had to open every Luglox chest in the game. I got a few as I was just playing through the story, but with there being 228 of them in the game, I used some collectible guides to find the ones I was missing. As well as for chests, there was also trading cards that I had to get. A lot of them come from opening Lugloxes, so as I was going around opening all of them, the trophy popped for collecting every card in the game. I carried on opening all of the chests, and using some guides, they weren't too hard to get. I'd also upgraded my jetpack as well, which was really useful for platforming. My final one was back on Gatless, and I pretty much had to sacrifice myself to get it because of the toxic atmosphere. Once I managed to open it, the Luglox trophy popped as well as the platinum, and that was it. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. The humour was good, the gameplay was fun, but I still wonder why they decided to update the game to make the platinum just take longer. I definitely want to play High on Life 2 when that comes out on PS Plus. Anyway, thank you for watching. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.